Hello learners, welcome to Python Revision Tool 8. In previous class, we have gone through string data object in great detail. We have learned the operators and functions which are associated with string type. In this class, we will learn another sequence data object in Python, that is lists. Lists are important data object in Python which has the capacity to hold many different types of data object together under a single variable name. Though lists are similar in many ways to strings, as both of them belong to sequence data type. But unlike strings, lists are mutable. That is, we may change the values of a list as and when required. In this class, we will explore many operators and functions which can be applied on list types. So let us begin. As told before, lists are, like strings, a sequence data object. That is, like strings, the elements or the values stored in the lists are sequenced according to a particular subscript or index number. The index number of the first element in lists starts at 0 and goes up to n minus 1, or reversely, it may start from -1 and goes up to -n, where n is the total number of elements in the list. A list collection is enclosed within square brackets, and the elements within the lists are separated by comma. As you can see on the screen. As you may observe on the screen, that a list is holding 5 different data types of data objects, that is integer, string, float, boolean, and complex within it. Thus, we may also say that a list is capable of holding heterogeneous data values. The image shown before you shows how the list elements are being indexed as per an integer subscript value, either from 0 to n minus 1 or backward from -1 to -n. This arrangement is similar to that of the strings that we have seen in earlier class. Now let us come to the creation of a list. A list can be created using 3 types of syntax as shown on the screen. The first syntax associates a variable name to be a list if it is assigned an empty square bracket. In second syntax, you may observe that a function list is used to create a list and associate it to a variable name. In the last syntax, a new list is being created using an existing list just by assigning the existing one to the new list. We will use these 3 syntaxes to create lists practically in a short while. For the time being, let us see the possible set of operations which are applicable on list types. List supports addition or plus operator to be applied within 2 lists. This operation concatenates the first list with the second list to create a single list content as available visible on your screen. Apart from plus operator, plus equal to, that is addition and assignment operator, is also allowed to be used in between two lists, which concatenates two lists and assigns the list, thus formed to the first list, changing the first list content. Let us understand list creation and basic operation through an code example. तो क्रिएट करना, राइट? सो क्रिएटिंग अ लिस्ट, सो एक लिस्ट को कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं अभी मैंने बताया। एल लिखकर आप इसमें इस तरह से लगाकर आप इसमें वैल्यू पास कर सकते हो 2, 3, 5, दिस विल प्रोड्यूस अ लिस्ट। सो अगर आप एल को प्रिंट करोगे, इफ यू आर प्रिंटिंग एल, इट विल शो यू वैल्यू 246, the value 246 is being shown here, right? So this is how the first we can produce a list using a equal to assignment operator and assigning it with a sequence value 246 like that. Suppose that you want to create a list with a list function, एक list function से आपको create करना है, then you can write here L1 is equal to list of कमल, जो मैंने अभी बताया था एक string से आप create कर रहे हो। Now it will give you what it will give you, print, if you are printing L1, it will give you KAMAL, individual characters will be placed inside the list separated by comma. So this is happening here. Now let us go to the next thing. Let us produce a list using list 2 using list of, say for example I am putting here, I'm going to put here टपल्स। हम कुछ एक टपल्स लिख रहे हैं, टपल्स अभी हम लोग आगे पढ़ेंगे, आएगा आगे, लिस्ट के बाद टपल्स ही पढ़ेंगे। सो सपोज करो ये टपल्स है और टपल्स एक पैरेंथेसिस के अंदर रखा जाता है, जस्ट लाइक लिस्ट जैसे स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में रखा जाता है, पैरेंथेसिस के अंदर हम टपल्स को रखते हैं। सो आप टपल्स को भी लिस्ट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो बाय यूजिंग लिस्ट फंक्शन। सो LIST लिस्ट फंक्शन देकर आप टपल्स पास किए और एंटर मारे। अब आप L2 अगर आप प्रिंट करोगे, व्हाट इट विल गिव यू, this L2 will give you again 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So it has been converted, the tuples has been converted into list में convert हो गया। So all these things we have seen. Now let us join two list, दो list को join कर देखते हैं तो क्या बनता है। Let us see, let us join L1 plus L2, let us write L1 plus L2। can you tell what will be the output? L1 plus L2, if I am writing L1 plus L2, what will be the output? I want answer from Manish. Manish, please answer. What will be the output?
L1 plus L2.
Yeah.
L1 plus L2 सर कमल आएगा स्ट्रिंग में अलग अलग KAMAL और 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 एक साथ सब एक लिस्ट में आएगा सर।
Okay, very good. So he is right, correct. That means KAMAL will be there, and after that 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 will be appended. Right, correct. So this is okay for all of you, I think. Now if I am going to print L1, what will be the value of L1 now, Manish? Manish, value of L1 क्या आएगा?
So your name.
My name. अच्छा, because it has not been changed, है ना? ये change नहीं हुआ है. But if I am writing L1 is equal to L1 plus equal to L2, if I am writing this, what will happen? If I am writing L1 plus equal to L2, what will be the output? I want answer from Chandrajit Bose. Chandrajit Bose, you answer please. If I am writing L1 plus equal to L2, what will be the output? L1 का आउटपुट क्या आएगा? मतलब L1 प्लस इक्वल टू L2 लिखने के बाद L1 को प्रिंट करेंगे तो आउटपुट क्या आएगा? सपोज इफ आई एम राइटिंग दिस एंड आफ्टर डूइंग दिस आई एम राइटिंग L1, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू प्रिंट L1, व्हाट विल बी द आउटपुट? चंद्रजीत, प्लीज आंसर।
हेलो,
हाँ बोलो।
सर दोनों ऐड हो जाएगा जैसे L1 और L2।
हाँ नहीं, क्या आएगा? व्हाट विल बी द आउटपुट इफ आई एम गोइंग टू प्रिंट L1? व्हाट विल बी द आउटपुट?
L1 प्लस सर कमल 2 4 6 7 8।
अच्छा, मतलब ये चेंज हो जाएगा, करेक्ट है। नाउ द L1 हैज बीन चेंज्ड सिंस यू हैव अप्लाइड व्हाट? एडिशन विथ असाइनमेंट. Since you have applied addition with assignment, the whole content will of the list of the first list will be changed. पहला कंटेंट जो है वो चेंज हो गया लिस्ट में, है ना? Now let us come to the next thing. Suppose that if I am writing L1 is equal to L3 is equal to L1. Suppose if I am writing, what will happen? Now I am going to create another list, a new list L3 using an existing list. ये भी हम कर सकते हैं, अभी देखा हमने इक्वल टू लगाकर हम क्या कर सकते हैं, एक प्री डिफाइंड लिस्ट को हम इनिशियलाइज कर सकते हैं नया लिस्ट में. तो नया लिस्ट बन जाएगा, L3 will have the same values as that of L1, है ना? L1 के तरह ही वैल्यू हो जाएगा. Now if I am doing this, what will happen? L3 dot append. There is a function called append. We will see that in the coming section of this class. Append एक फंक्शन है जो कि ऐड करता है एक एलिमेंट L3 में ऐड करेगा. So suppose that if I am adding Z, now L3 will show you what? It will be showing you a Z at the last position. You see here, Z will be shown here. The Z will be shown at the last position, right? समझ में आया? तो Z भी आपको दिखाई मिल रहा है लास्ट पोजीशन पे, ये हो रहा है. This is seen here. You can see that Z is there. So Z add हो गया. Now you tell me, Ishita will tell what will be the value of L1 if I am going to print L1. What will be the value of L1?
Sir, KAMAL 24678.
Okay, so the value of L1 will be she is saying that it will be the previous one. जो यहाँ पर दिख रहा था सर, यहाँ पे जो दिख रहा था, ये जो मैं हाईलाइट किया हूँ अभी, जो वैल्यू दिख रहा था वही वैल्यू सेम आ जाएगा जब हम L1 में प्रिंट करेंगे. प्रियांशु, व्हाट यू थिंक अबाउट इट?
सर करेक्ट है.
करेक्ट है ना? करेक्ट नहीं है, बिल्कुल भी करेक्ट नहीं हो, बिल्कुल भी करेक्ट नहीं हो.
सर L3 प्रिंट हो जाएगा.
बिल्कुल भी करेक्ट नहीं हो. L1 विल बी चेंज्ड. समझ में आ रहा है? इसका मतलब क्या हो गया, जरा बताइए मेरे को. इस असाइनमेंट में क्या खासियत है इस असाइनमेंट का? ये जो असाइन हमने किया है, बहुत वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है टू बी नोटेड. व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दिस असाइनमेंट? L3 इज इक्वल टू L1 जब लिख रहा हूं मैं, तो क्या हो रहा है? व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? कैन यू टेल व्हाट इज हैपनिंग बिहाइंड द सीन? रितेश, ओवर टू यू. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग हियर? रितेश, कैन यू टेल व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? हाँ बोलो.
सर
बोलो रितेश. हाँ बोलो.
सर L1 चेंज हो रहा है, वो पता नहीं चल रहा कैसे.
अच्छा ठीक है, ओके.
L3 का तो दिख रहा है पर L1 का पता नहीं.
अच्छा ओके. सिद्धार्थ, यू हैव एनी आंसर फॉर दैट?
सर इक्वल टू ऑपरेटर दोनों लिस्ट को असाइन कर दे रहा है.
दोनों लिस्ट को असाइन कर दे रहा है. अभिनव, व्हाट डू यू थिंक? अभिनव.
सर ये तो क्लास में नहीं हुआ था.
हाँ बोलो.
सर इक्वेट कर दे.
हाँ बोलो.
सर इक्वेट
पहले
आयुष, यू स्टॉप आयुष वंस. हाँ बोलो.
सर पहले हमने क्या किया कि L3 जो लिस्ट था उसको ये लिस्ट 1 के साथ जोड़ दिया. तो फिर
कहाँ जोड़ दिया? हमने जोड़ा कहाँ? हमने L3 को कहाँ जोड़ा? L3 इज इक्वल टू L1 लिखा है मैंने, जोड़ा कहाँ है?
हाँ तो उससे
एसोसिएट किया. हाँ ठीक है,
एसोसिएट कर दिया.
हाँ ठीक है, ओके.
उसके बाद हमने L3 में अपेंड किया, तो दोनों का वैल्यू तो सेम, मतलब L3 की वैल्यू जो होगी वही 1 का भी वैल्यू होगा,
अरे
इसीलिए
भैया सीधा सा बात है, देखिए यहाँ देखिए, सीधा सा बात है, सभी लोग यहाँ ध्यान से देखिए, ध्यान से देखिए। We have A is equal to 13. Okay, we have A is equal to 13. We have A is equal to 13. We are writing A. We are writing B is equal to A 1, and we are going to pray. Sorry, we are then we are writing B is equal to A, and then we are printing A. What will happen? It is giving 13, right? 13 दे रहा है ना, A प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ तो 13 दे रहा है. Now if I, अरे भाई, Ayush please stop your microphone please. Ayush please stop your microphone. हाँ, ओके. जब मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा तब आप अपना माइक्रोफोन करना प्लीज. मूव ऑन हियर. सपोज इफ आई एम राइटिंग B is equal to 19 and now I am going to print A. सब लोग ध्यान से देखिए यहाँ पर. Now it is giving us what? A क्या दे रहा है हमें? 13 ही दे रहा है ना. B 19 हो गया, A तो 13 ही रहा. तो यहाँ के लिए तो ये ठीक है, लेकिन लिस्ट के साथ ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. लिस्ट के साथ ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ऐसा? जरा देखेंगे इसको. लेट अस सी हियर. मैं फिर से आइडल में ये काम कर रहा हूं. जरा ध्यान देंगे सभी लोग. प्लीज लिसन वेरी केयरफुली. आई एम रिफ्रेशिंग माई आइडल अगेन. आइडल में मैं फिर से करके आपको दिखा रहा हूं. जरा ध्यान दीजिए सभी लोग. नॉर्मली एक वेरिएबल A है जिसमें 10 वैल्यू है. ओके. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू राइट हेयर B is equal to A. हमने B को A के साथ एसोसिएट कर दिया. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू, व्हाट आई एम राइटिंग B is equal to 12. Does it changes the value of A? क्या ये A के वैल्यू को चेंज करेगा? क्या ये 10 जो है वो 12 हो जाएगा क्या? Let us see.
नहीं होगा.
Let us see. The A is still 10. Why is it so? Let us find out once again. Behind the scene जरा देखते हैं इसको. अब हम A और B को छोड़ देते हैं. हम वही चीज X के साथ करते हैं. X is equal to 10 लिखा हमने. Y is equal to X किया. जस्ट वही सेम काम कर रहे हैं. और यहां जाकर मैं ID of X और ID of Y प्रिंट कर रहा हूं. जरा देखिए क्या दे रहा है आपको. What it is giving? It is giving same ID. लोकेशन, इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? ID फंक्शन क्या देता है? What it returns you? What the ID function returns you?
L value.
L value है. SKY code नहीं भैया.
Location. Yes sir.
Who is telling SKY code?
Location value. Sir.
This is location value. L value.
Location value. L value.
So, it is giving you L value. Now those two L values are same. Till now it is same. But integers are mutable. Immutable. Integers are what? Immutable. They cannot be changed. Now I am writing Y is equal to 12. When I am writing Y is equal to 12, what happens? Now? Let us now check ID of X and ID of Y. Let us check ID of X and ID of Y. Now you see what happened. क्या हुआ? What happened? After assigning Y 12 to Y, what happened? The ID of Y changed because 12 is a new data object which is created at new location. Old location पे नहीं बन सकता है क्योंकि integer जो है वो immutable है. Immutable cannot change. X cannot be changed. Since Y cannot change the value of X, hence it is created newly in the memory in the new address. इसलिए अब से Y का जिंदगी अलग है, X का जीवन अलग है. दोनों अलग अलग राही हो गए. दोनों अलग अलग जगह पर बन गए. Isn't it? But now let us check it for lists. Lists के लिए जरा हम लोग इसको सेम चीज को चेक करते हैं. जरा देखते हैं क्या होता है. Suppose that if I am writing L1 is equal to 3, 5, 6 and then I am writing L2 is equal to L1. Now let us check the ID of L1 and ID of L2. ID of L1 and ID of L2. Let us check them. let us see what you are observing here. They are both having same id, just like जैसे कि नॉर्मल इंटीजर के साथ था वैसा ही है यहाँ पे भी, अभी तक वही है। लेकिन अब जरा देखो क्या होगा जब आप L2 में कुछ चेंजेस करोगे। नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू मेक सम चेंजेस इन L2 एज यू हैव डन विथ y हियर। जब आप दोनों का आईडी सेम था उसके बाद आपने y में 12 असाइन किया था। नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू असाइन समथिंग टू L2, न्यू थिंग टू L2। से फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर गोइंग टू अपेंड समथिंग। चेंज करने का मतलब अपेंड करना, आप एडिशन करो चाहे सब्ट्रैक्शन करो, कुछ करो। तो आप लोग मान लो आप नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू ऐड वन वैल्यू कॉल 289, एक 289 वैल्यू डालने जा रहे हो, अपेंड करने जा रहे हो L2 में। what will happen? See here, now the value of L2 changes. Now it becomes what? Instead of 356 it became 356289. But does it changes the value of L1? Let us first find out id of L1 and L2. जरा अब देखते हैं id of L1 और L2 क्या होगा। So id of L1 and comma id of L2, let us find out them. Bingo, here you go. What is happening here? What is happening here? What do you observe here? What do you observe here? The IDs have not changed at all. ID नहीं चेंज हुआ। जबकि यहां देखिए इंटीजर में क्या हो रहा था, असाइनमेंट के बाद y में जब नया वैल्यू असाइन कर रहे थे 12 नया आईडी पे बन रहा है। ये देखो ये एक नया आईडी था, बट हियर द L1 and L2 are having same ID. That means they are having same L values, location values. Hence, any changes made in L2 will be reflected in L1. L2 में जो चेंजेस हुआ L1 में तो दिखेगा ही, जो दोनों तो सेम ही एड्रेस पर है, दोनों तो सेम एड्रेस पर ही है। कहने का मकसद क्या है कि आपका जो L1 है और आपका जो L2 है ये दोनों ही एक ही एड्रेस को शो कर रहा है ना भाई। ये तो एक ही लिस्ट को शो कर रहा है, क्योंकि वो लिस्ट बना कहां पर हुआ है, उसी एड्रेस पर 4392801600, उसी एड्रेस पे बना हुआ है जिसमें कि ये वैल्यू रखा हुआ है 35356 ये रखा हुआ है वहां। तो दोनों जब एक ही को रेफर कर रहा है तो ऑफ कोर्स सी बात है कि अगर मैं इसमें 13 ऐड करूंगा एक बार और तो वो इसमें रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा L2 में। So now let us see. Again I am going to change something. Say for example उस समय मैंने L2 में ऐड किया था। Now I am going to append something on L1. L1 में append करते हैं, 3 append करते हैं। Now you see if I am going to print L2 what will happen? It will, that 3 will be added. L2 में भी 3 ऐड हो गया, तो L1 में जो करोगे L2 में दिखेगा, L2 में जो करोगे L1 में दिखेगा। This is because of the fact they are sharing the same address, L value. और वो शेयरिंग सेम एड्रेस क्यों हो रहा है? why it is happening here? Because lists are dash
Mutable.
very good, right, correct, lists are mutable because lists are mutable. Since the lists are mutable, you don't have to go for a second memory location to create another list. The same memory location will be used by both of them automatically. Mutability का मतलब ही यही है, क्योंकि changes उसी place पर हो जा रहा है, उसी location पर changes allowed है। If the changes are allowed at that particular location, then it is going to share the same address, so same location value, and hence it is happening. I hope this is clear to all of you. Everybody clear? If you have any doubt, please raise the question right now. If you have doubt, please raise the question right now.
List comprehension. List comprehension is an important tool which empowers programmers to shorten Python code to generate lists containing values apprehended on a particular expression. Here is one example on your screen where the list comprehension is used to create a list of squares of values between natural numbers 1 to 10. Here you can see that a list n underscore list is created using elemental formula x raised to the power of x, where x lies in between 1 and 10. This process will create a list containing squares of values between 1 to 10 separated by comma as visible on your screen. Let us see a code example to understand it in a better way.
Wait, let us make a list, comprehended list. So आपको एक comprehended list बनाना है, list of squares of natural numbers between 1 to 10. 1 to 10 के list का squares of natural number का list बनाना है. तो normally आप वो loop लगा के करते, बट यहाँ पर भी loop लग रहा है, लेकिन comprehended way में लिख रहे हैं. देखो कैसे लिख रहे हैं. comprehended way में simply एक list ऐसे बना रहे हैं और अंदर लिख दे रहे हैं x into x. ये x कुछ भी i into i भी ले सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. For x in range 1 to 11, 10 तक जाएगा. That's it. इतना ही, सिर्फ इतना ही लिखना काफी है और एंटर मार दिया. इतना ही लिखना काफी है और एंटर मार दिया. Okay, got the point? So now you can see here it is generating a list. It is generating a list 149, something like that. If you want to keep this list into another variable, you can do so. आप एक L1 लेकर is equal to लगाकर ये लिख दो. ये same thing आप जो है यहाँ से उठाकर यहाँ डाल दो, and then you print L1. It will show you the same list value. All the list values will be same. Okay, so this is how it goes on. So you can have a list like this 1 to 11, between 1 to 11 squares of comprehended list आप देख सकते हैं. So I hope this is clear to all of you, list comprehension.
So here are two examples exercise for you to do. I would like you to pause your video right now and try to solve the above two problems using list comprehension. The solution to them are there in the video ahead, but first try to solve it yourself. So stop the video right now and solve the problems.
And now the first question was to create a list using list comprehension having x and y value as a sublist between 1 to 10, where x lies between 1 to 10 and y is related to x, function of x, such that y is equal to log of x, right? So let us write it. It's quite easy to do. Just make a list. Inside that list you keep x comma y. That's it, x comma y. But instead of x comma y, what you will do, first log निकालने के लिए तो भाई मैथ इंपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा ना. बिना मैथ को इंपोर्ट किए तो लॉग निकलेगा नहीं, तो इंपोर्ट मैथ तो करना पड़ेगा. ओके, इंपोर्ट मैथ तो करना ही पड़ेगा आपको. सो इंपोर्ट मैथ कर लेंगे. उसके बाद लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में लिस्ट एक बनाते हैं हम लोग पहले. इन कॉम्प्रिहेंशन ऑफ लिस्ट वी फर्स्ट टेक अ लिस्ट एंड इनसाइड दैट वी विल क्रिएट अ सब लिस्ट बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ थिंग विल कम हियर. और इस लिस्ट के अंदर एक एक एलिमेंट एक सब लिस्ट होगा जिसमें x और y होगा. तो x तो ठीक है, y क्या है? y is nothing but log of x. y is nothing but log of x, where this x will vary between, x will be in the range of 1 to 11. That's it. हो गया, कहानी खत्म. Now you see here math.log होगा ना, वहां पर सिर्फ log लिखने से नहीं चलेगा. math.log, वहां गलती कर दिया हमने. log बोलकर कुछ नहीं है, math.log लिखना पड़ेगा.
सर सेंड की हो.
ओके ठीक है, गुड. math.log, now you see here, log 1 का वैल्यू निकल गया 0.0, log 2 का वैल्यू निकाल के दे दिया आपको. अप टू कितना प्लेसेस ऑफ डेसिमल देख सकते हो तुम. log 3 का वैल्यू निकाल के दे दिया, log 4 का वैल्यू निकाल के दे दिया, लिस्ट ऑफ लिस्ट बना दिया. देख रहे हो ना. सो एक सिंगल लाइन से आप देखो, एक लिस्ट ऑफ लिस्ट आपने क्रिएट कर दिया और एक्स और वाई के बीच में रिलेशनशिप रख दिया आपने. You can see it. I think you are observing, all of you, the science people, the answer of this question, as well as commerce वाले भी देख सकते हो, उसको जान सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है इसमें. So now let us come to the next question, second question. Please note it. Those of you who are not able to do it, please note it. आपको 4 लाइन 5 लाइन लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है, एक ही लाइन में काम बन जा रहा है. Please note it. Now let us go to the next question. Next question was to make a list of even numbers between 1 to 500. 1 से लेके 500 के बीच में. तो अगेन आई हैव टू क्रिएट अ लिस्ट. अगेन पहले एक लिस्ट बनाएंगे, x रखेंगे और x के लिए कंडीशन क्या डालेंगे? फॉर x इन रेंज 1 to 501. और उसके बाद इफ लगाएंगे, इफ x% 2 is equal to 0, then only you will keep that x into the list. ये जो सामने वाला जो पार्ट है x, वो है एलिमेंट इन द लिस्ट, बट दैट एलिमेंट इन द लिस्ट विल बी केप्ट ओनली व्हेन दिस कंडीशन इज सेटिस्फाइड. सो एक फॉर लूप लगाकर आप उसके अंदर एक कंडीशन प्लेस कर सकते हो और उसको आप पूरा का पूरा कॉम्प्रिहेंडेड वे में लिख सकते हो. नेस्टिंग ऑफ कंडीशन कैन बी डन. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड नेस्टिंग ऑफ कंडीशन विद इन लूप. नाउ यू सी व्हाट विल हैपन. See here, as you can see, it has generated list, even number list between 1 to 500, 2 4 6 8. देख रहे हो ना, एक बार में एक काम तुरंत कर दिया, कोई इफ एल्स कंडीशन लगाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन से काम हो गया. Isn't it very beautiful thing to learn here, the list comprehension?
सर
बोलो.
So, here is the first practice exercise for you to go through based on what you have learned in this class till now. As you have seen list comprehension and the questions and solutions on it, both the problem demands lists using list comprehension techniques. Hope you would be able to solve these problems and send it to our Kaizala group. We will discuss the solutions to them during our live classes. Now let us come to the next topic of today's class, that is list slicing. List slicing is a technique similar to string slicing to extract sublists from a main list using same sort of syntax as that of string slicing, as you may have observed on your screen right now. So we have a list L, and then to slice out sublist, we have to mention the starting index given in red, the end element index given in green, and the element jump or the step given in blue. Within the list, all separated with a colon, as you can observe. Here, the step is optional and its jump value by default is 1, as in case of strings. Here too, the start, end and step can take negative values. So let us see few examples related to list slicing so as to understand it clearly. Let us see few examples related to list slicing. So when we are considering the list slicing, we have to remember that we have to use the same syntax as we have used with string slicing. So here we have a list, say 56, 23, 67, 78, 34, 89. So this is the list we have. Now I want to slice this list. To slice this particular list, we have to
use the same syntax as we have used in case of strings. Say for example, if I'm writing L 0 colon, this will give us the whole list. Since the starting index over here is 0, I have not mentioned the ending index, and hence it will go up to the last element in the given list. The ending index will be the index of the last element in the given list. Now let us go for the next syntax, next example. Say for example, I have 3 colon and then colon. So we have 78, 34, 89. Now where from I am getting this result? Let us find out. 56 is at 0th index, 23 is at first index, and hence forward we look at 78, which is situated on the index number 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 78 is situated at third index, right? So we are starting our start indicator is 3. The starting index is 3. I have not mentioned any ending index. That means it will go up to the last element in the list, and thus the 3 values 78, 34 and 89 has been printed. Now let us find out. If we write like this, 3 colon and then 2 colon and then I have 6. Let's find out what it will give us. It gives us 67, 78, 34 and 89. How this is coming? Let us find out. We have at the second index we have 0, 1, 2, that is 67, and from there we have to go up to end minus 1. The index here, the ending index is 6. So we have to reach up to the element whose index is 5. That is 6 minus 1 is 5. So we have to go to 2, 3, 4 and 5. The fifth index is, the element at fifth index is 89, and hence we are reaching it to the end of the list. So the last element in the list is having index 5, and that's why we are getting these 4 elements. What if we are going to print something like this, 2, 5? Then it will go up to 4th index. The ending index will be 5 minus 1, that is 4. So let us find out. It will give us 67, 78, 34. So it is exactly behaving the same way we have sliced strings, right? Now let us go for a example where we will use steps. So for example, I am going to write colon and then 5 and then colon 2. Let's find out what is the meaning of this particular example. It is giving us 56, 67 and 34. Let's find out why is it so. We have not given here, see in this example we have not given our starting index. Since we have not given our starting index, the starting index becomes 0. So the first element 56 is printed, and after that we have to move up to end minus 1. That is, the ending index is 5 minus 1, that is 4. So 4th, let us find out which is the element which is having index number 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 34 is the element whose index number is 4. So we will have to reach up to 34. But here in this list, in the resultant list, we see only 3 elements. How this this result has been generated? Let us find out. The first element is 56. So taking 2 elements at a time. So the step mentioned here, you can see that in this example the step mentioned here is 2. So we have to take 2 elements at a time and then jump to the third element. So let us find out how to do this. So our starting index is 0. So we standing at 56, we will take 1, 2 and the third element is 67. So hence the next element in the list will be 67. Again we have to take 2 elements, 67. Starting with from the 67, we have 67 as first element, 78 as second element. That means 2 steps are taken, and then we reach to 34, which is the ending index, which is our ending index. The ending index was 4, and hence we are reaching to 34, and this list produces 56, 67 and 34. So it is behaving exactly same way as that of strings, right? Now let us find out what if we are writing something like this. We are writing something like this, minus 1. Let us write this thing. Let us see what happens. As we are going to produce this result, we are seeing that we have reversed the order of elements in the list.
Now, why this happened? Because we have mentioned a negative jump. We have mentioned a negative step -1. Taking negative step means you are going from the rear end up to the front end of the list, right? The rear end element is 89, so it will be printed first, and then since we have not mentioned any ending or any start index, so all the elements right beginning from the last element will be printed up to the first element. So this list is produced. This is the reversed order list. Now let us find out next example. Let us give some indexes over here. Say for example, I am giving -2 colon -4, and then I am giving -1. The jump is -1. Say for example, let's find out what is happening with in this case. Now in this case it is giving 34 and 78. Let us find out why is it so. Why is it so? So we have minus, our starting index is -2. Since our starting index is here is -2, let us find out which is the element which is at the starting index -2. Here we see that 89, right? We have seen that in case of list, we can index the list elements starting from -1 from the rear end up to -end up to the front element, right? So here the 89 has an index of -1, right? So starting from 89 we have index of -1, and then 34 is having -2, and so on. Now let us find out. Starting index is -2. So let us find out which is the element which is situated at index -2. So -1, 89 is having -1, and then 34 is having -2. So our starting point is 34, right? And now from there we have to go up to -4. But remember that when we have negative jump, we have to go up to end plus 1. End plus 1 element. End plus 1th element we have to go. Index number end plus 1. So let us do the calculation. -4 plus 1, that makes -3. So we have to go up to an element whose index is -3. So let us find out which is the element which is having index -3. So we have -2 as 34 and then -3 as 78. So we have to go up to 78 only. So hence we will be getting only 2 elements in this resultant list, that is 34 and 78, that too in the reversed order. So we have got this answer 34 and 78. So likewise we can have more negative jumps and you can use this type of syntaxes, right? One thing I must mention here is that though it is very much similar to string, but we will use this list slicing in many places ahead, right? Now one of the most important factor over here is that we have negative values as steps, right? So we can use negative values as steps, but one has to take care of the starting index and the ending index when we are taking negative jumps, right? So this is all about slicing, list slicing, and as you will do more examples of this slicing, you will understand it more in a better way. Lists in Python also have various built-in functions for numerous ready-to-use activities. Here is the extensive list of functions before you as shown on your screen. Let us discuss them one by one. The first function, CMP, which takes 2 list arguments and compares them if the first list has greater sum of elements than the second list, then 1 is returned. If they have equal sum, then 0 is returned, and if the second list has greater sum of its elements, then -1 is returned. This function is available only with Python 2.x versions and has been deprecated in versions 3.x onwards. The next set of functions, len, max, mean, sum, when applied to a list returns total number of elements in the list, maximum value out of all elements, minimum value out of all the elements and sum of all elements in the list respectively. Now let's come to the next part of the list, the append function. The append function is an important function belonging to list type object which takes one argument object and adds it to the end of the list, thus making the list grow by an element. The index function of the list object takes an argument object, searches it within the list, and if found, returns the index of its first occurrence in the list. If not found, reports value error. The insert function adds an argument object to a specified argument index position in the list, thus enabling us to insert an element at any position in the list. The sort function arranges the list items in ascending order of its values. The remove function accepts an argument object and if found, deletes it from the list. If not, reports a value error. The pop function acts similarly to a remove function, but it not only deletes elements either from the rear end or from a specified position, but also returns the deleted value. So here we come with more functions. The reverse function. The reverse function of list object reverses the sequence of all elements present in the list. The extend function adds a new list to an existing list so as to generate a new extended list. The count function counts number of times a value is repeated in a list. The copy function is an important function which is under the copy module and performs a shallow copying of list of elements to another list where there is a creation of new memory for the copied list. The clear function is used to clear all elements from the list to make it empty. The enumerate is one of the most important functions related to a list sequence data type, which associates an enumerated integer value with all list elements and returns a list of tuples containing the enumerator and the list element. Apart from the remove and pop, we have del statement in Python, which is used for deleting an element from a list. As you can observe on this screen, we have a syntax for del element where we mention the index in a square bracket so as to remove the element situated at that index from the list. The example shown on the screen is self-explanatory, where we have removed the element situated at index number 2 using a del keyword. So now that we have completed the discussion about the extensive list of functions associated with lists, let us see a code example to understand the working of all these functions one by one. You may skip those functions which you already know or may view this part of video by speeding it.
So first is a compare function. Okay. Okay, so we will see now how the functions that we have learned right now are going to be executed. The first one is the compare function, right? CMP or compare function. Let us find out how to use CMP between two lists and what values it gives, right? Let us create two lists L1, L2, and let us assign them some values like, say for example 2, 3, 5, and then comma 4, or 2, 3, 6, say for example. And then I am going to write L1 dot compare CMP, or sorry, it will be CMP only, not L1 dot, because we cannot apply. These are functions. CMP is a function which is a global function which comes in the global package of Python. It does not belong to any special class, right? As it is applicable on many of the data objects, many different types of data objects. So L1 CMP over L1, L2. So let us see what it gives. It gives error. CMP is not defined, right? Let us see the name of our function. Yeah, correct. Eh? So error name CMP is not defined. Is not defined. Okay. We can write like print CMP and then L1, L2. No, CMP is not defined. It is giving CMP not defined. Okay. Let us apply CMP over some other thing. Say for example 10, 30. Again the CMP is not defined. It is giving CMP not defined. Rather it should give CMP function to compare two values. Let me check whether it is applicable here or not in Python 3.8 version. I have idle 2 also. So let me check it on the 2.
सर
बोलो
सर जो CMP लिस्ट L1 लिख रहे हैं ना उसको एक वेरिएबल में ले लीजिए ना, उसका प्रिंट करिए उसको।
क्या चीज?
सर
No.
CMP L1, L2 जो लिख रहे हैं उसको एक वेरिएबल में ले लीजिए ना एक बार।
L1, L2 एक वेरिएबल।
हाँ सर, कोई एक वेरिएबल में ले लीजिए उसको।
वेरिएबल में तो लिया हूँ, वेरिएबल में ही तो लिया हूँ, लिया है ये तो रहा, वेरिएबल में ही तो लिया है। इसको लिखा L1 में रखा, इसको L2 में रखा।
सर ये फंक्शन ये जो लिख रहे हैं ना प्रिंट, उसको एक वेरिएबल में रख, उसको फिर प्रिंट कीजिए।
That is okay. That can be done. P is equal to CMP L1, L2. You are saying like this, okay? No problem, no issue.
Python
So 2.7 के लिए applicable है कि नहीं? Let us see. So we will see that whether it is applicable on 2.7 or not. Okay. So CMP. So we have list L1 and L2. So L1, L2 is equal to 2, 3, 5, and then comma 2, 3, 6. So these two are there, and CMP, and then L1, L2, right? Now let us see. Now it is giving -1. Do you see here? It is executed, right? So it is a degenerated function. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Decaparated function, right? It is removed from 3 onwards. Python 3 onwards इसको remove कर दिया गया क्योंकि इसके अलावा इसके जगह में कोई और दूसरा फंक्शन चलाया है जिसे कंपेयर किया जा सकता है। तो CMP फंक्शन रिटर्न करता है -1 if they are not equal. अगर इक्वल नहीं है तो -1 रिटर्न करता है, और अगर इक्वल है, सपोज करो if I am going to change it as L2 is equal to 2, 3, 5. Let us make it 2, 3, 5. Now I am going to compare CMP L1, L2. Now see what happens. It returns 0 देता है ना? ये 0 देता है। Now let us see if I am going to change L1 as 6, 8, 9. Suppose करो ये दे देता हूँ। Sorry, L1 is equal to 6, 8, 9, right? और उसके बाद मैं CMP लिखता हूँ और L1, L2 करता हूँ। देखो क्या दे रहा है ये? It is giving +1. Can you explain me why sometime I am getting -1, sometime I am getting 0, and sometime I am getting 1 in CMP? Just see the values before you. It is being shown. Anybody of you are invited to answer.
सर
एक जन बोलेगा, कोई एक अपना नाम बताएगा फिर बोलेगा. Who is
सर अभिषेक
Abhishek, just stop. Let somebody else to answer. I want answer from girls. Prerna, you can give answer. If you are present here. Arpan can give answer. Arpan, why is it looking like this on the screen? Whatever is being given. Arpan, are you there? L2 पहला वाला. So let us now go to the next function. तो हम लोग इसको बंद कर देते हैं 2.8 वाला जो विंडो है हमारा. So that we can proceed further. Right? Now let us go to the next next function. What was the next function? The next function was length function, len length function. So let me show you how to execute the length function. Right now in this let us find out length function. So length कैसे निकालते हैं? You have a function, you have a list called L is equal to 4, 5, 6, and then what you do, you write len over L, because it is also a global function. So len over L gives you 3. This you know already. This is there in the string also. String may be here. Now we have max function, right? Max gives you the maximum out of a given list. एक list में से maximum value देता है. So for example, if I am applying max over L, the L we have taken 4, 5, 6. The max over L will give you 6. It's not that the highest value is to be kept at the right side, right? Suppose that you are going to change the value. Say for example, 13, 4, 5, 6. Then max of L will give you 13, right? It is giving the maximum value. Similarly, we can have mean over L. So it will give you minimum of that value, that is 4. So this is understood. There's nothing rocket science about it. Now let us go to the sum of the list. So sum of the list, when you are going to apply sum over L, then it will give you 28, because it added all the elements. 13 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. It gives you 28. Okay, the 28 सारा answer we have seen. Now let us go to the next set of functions. अगला set of functions हम लोग देखते हैं जरा. Appends item, right? Appends function appends an element at the end of this list. Say for example, we have a list called L is equal to this one, as highlighted. Now let us append something on this list. L1 dot append, and here I want to append my name. Say for example, Kamal. Now it will be appended on the list because list carries heterogeneous elements. So a string can also be appended with integer values. No problem, no issue with that. Now you can see that it is being appended at the rear end, है ना? ये कहाँ append हुआ? This is appended at the rear end. ये rear end में appended हो गया, right? So this end is what is called as rear end. ये जो पीछे वाला end है, इसको हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? This is called as rear end. This is called rear end. So whenever you are using append function, it is appended at the rear end, last end of the list, right? So this has to be taken care of. So append के साथ ये चीज है, आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. Now let us go for the next thing. अगला चीज पे चलते हैं हम लोग. और next function is index, right? So I have told you index function returns the index of that particular element. So let us find out the index of Kamal. Index, you have to give index L dot. Now L dot, again this syntax has to be used. L dot index, and then why this syntax is to be used? L dot index, because they are member functions of the object list. List object का member function है. It is not the global members or global functions of Python library. Now it is part of the list, functions inside list. So whenever something is inside some other object, dot has to be used. That is what dot is called as containership operator. It is containing in the given list. So list containing index. Dot means list containing index. So index, list containing index of what? You want to find out index of Kamal. So you just find out index of Kamal. Now it gives you 4. Because now let us count out what is the index. The list index starts from 0. So 13 has an index of 0, 4 has index 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. And that's why the 4 is being printed here. ये जो 4 index आया है because of this fact that Kamal is on the index number 4. Okay, I hope this is understood. Everybody has understood it. If you have doubt, you please write down and we will clear the doubt at the last end of this lecture, right? Now let us go to the let us go to the next thing, that is next function, and the next function is insert function. Insert function, it takes two parameters, right? As you can see here, it takes two parameters. The first parameter is index and the second parameter is the item, right? So first you have to pass where you want to put that item, and next which item you want to put, that item name. So let us put an item. एक item को इसमें हम डालते हैं किसमें, list में, और that item is, for example, list dot l dot what was the function? That function was insert, right? List dot insert Sunita, right? Now let us see, and index I have to pass where I want to add. So I want to add it at index position 2, say for example 2. Then can you guess what will be the output if I am going to execute this code, l dot insert 2 comma Sunita, where this Sunita will be added? It will be added at the position of second index. What is the second index now? As I have counted, this 13 is having 0 index, this 4 is having 1 index. So after 4 before 5, it will be added. Now let us see what happens. Now print L, if I am going to print L, now it will give you what? It is giving 13 for Sunita. So in place of 5, the Sunita is added, but you should observe here that 5 is not removed from the list. Whatever was there at the position number 2 has shifted to the index position number 3. Whatever was there has shifted to the position number 3. First this 5 was at the position number 2. Here the 5 was at position number index number 2. Now the index has changed to 3 because now Sunita has came into the index at index number 2, and that is what is the function of insert function. The next function in the series is sort, right? So let us find out what is how the sort is going to act. Sort कैसे act करेगा इसको भी जरा हम लोग देखते हैं. Now how to write the sort function कैसे होगा? Let us sort this function L को जरा sort करते हैं, देखते हैं what will come. Sort L dot sort. So it is again what? It is again the member function of list. So L dot sort. Now you see type error is produced. Can you tell me why the sort has produced type error here? Why this sort has produced type error? Exactly, right. So as you have guessed it now, that type error has been produced because of the fact that it has heterogeneous values, right? Some values are integer, some other values are string. So you cannot compare an integer with a string and place it somewhere before or after integer. How you can compare a string with an integer? Those are two different data objects, and there is no similarity or dissimilarities between them. So based on what logic you will place one before and after other. So that is why the error is being given. Now let us remove Sunita and Kamal, or let us take another list. Say for example another list an is equal to, say for example 6, 2, 78, 1. Say for example, right? And now I am going to sort this list. So an dot sort. Now you see, if I am going to print an, what it will give you? 1, 2, 6, 78. Now it is sorted. Okay. So you cannot sort. You cannot apply sort over a list which has heterogeneous values in it. Heterogeneous values के list को आप sort function से sorting नहीं कर सकते हो. Only and only if there are homogeneous elements inside list, then only you can sort that particular list. Please note it. Please note all of you. Okay. Suppose that if I am having a list of names होता है हमारे पास. Say for example, Ishika, Vivek, okay, Ishita, Akash, okay, and then we have Manish, right? These are the values. Manish is there in the commerce, right? He will go to commerce now. So names are there. Now we are going to sort these names, right? So I am going to apply say names dot sort. Now you see here what happens. I am going to print names, right? Now it is giving Akash, Ishika, Ishita, Manish and Vivek. So they are being arranged as per the alphabetical order, right? Alphabetical order में arrange हो गया. In the order of alphabet ये arrange हो गया. But इसके बीच में अगर integer रहता, then it would not have been arranged. It would have been given error, like value error, right? Value type error. Sorry, type error चलाता है. What type of error is given here? Type error. Listen, Now see, concentrate on the error, please. All of you, please concentrate on the error. The error here is type error. This is because the explanation of that error is the less than symbol is not supported between instances of str and int because they have heterogeneous values. Less than cannot be operated between an integer and a string, and that is why sorting cannot be done. Sort is a function, but some logic is being given there inside the function. Some operation is being done. Operation like relational operation has been done. So that relational operation is not feasible with these two values, these two different types of values, and hence the error is come, right? So I hope this is understood. Now let us go to the next function. The next function is remove item. So I want to remove item. So I want to remove that item from that this place, Sunita and Kamal. These were two odd items in the list because every other item was in the list L was integer. I want to remove Sunita. I want to remove Kamal. So let us remove Sunita and Kamal from the list available list L. ये जो आप ऊपर list देख रहे हो, I want to remove Sunita and Kamal from this list, right? So what to do? I will write here L dot remove. L dot remove. Okay. The function name is remove. And remove के अंदर हमें क्या देना है? What you have to give? You have to give here. You see here. What you have to give? You have to give item, right? You have to give item. So remove the name of the item. So name of the item is Sunita, right? Right. So L dot remove Sunita. Now you see here, if I am going to print, now Sunita is removed from the list. Similarly, I can remove L dot remove Kamal, right? I can remove Kamal also, no problem. And now I am going to print, if I am going to print L, then it is giving you what? It is giving you all this things, right? Applied, okay. Now one question I have to ask you, or rather I will give you, okay? एक क्वेश्चन मैं दे रहा हूँ अभी, राइट नाउ अभी दे रहा हूँ, ध्यान से सुनिए सभी लोग, ध्यान से सुनिए. Here, as I can see this list L, right? I'm able to see this list L. ये लिस्ट तो मेरे को दिख रहा था ना, ये जो लिस्ट है, ये लिस्ट दिख रहा था, और यहाँ देखने से मेरे आंखों के सामने नजर आ रहा था कि भाई सुनीता डबल कोट्स में है, कमल डबल कोट्स में है, तो वो स्ट्रिंग है इसलिए इसको हटाना है. Now suppose that I have a list called X and it has values of different data types. अलग अलग डेटा टाइप्स का वैल्यूज उसके अंदर में पड़ा हुआ है. उसके अंदर में अलग अलग डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप्स का वैल्यूज पड़ा हुआ है. मतलब उसमें इंटीजर्स भी है, उसमें स्ट्रिंग भी है, उसमें कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है, उसमें सब कुछ है. So we have L is equal to 34, 22, so L dot insert, say for example I want to insert 20. Whether the question is understood to you? I want answer from everybody. Equal to 34, 22, so L dot, what happened? Okay. So we have L is equal to 34, 22, 89, 45, right? Now I want to sort it. So I have sorted it, L dot sort, right? Now the value of L is sorted. Now I want to reverse this list. So there is a function called reverse function. So we can apply reverse function over it so that we can reverse the value and we get a descending order list, right? A list having not in the ascending order of the values but in the descending order of the values. So L dot reverse L dot reverse L. I want to reverse this L. So L dot reverse, right? And now print L. Now you see what happened. L dot reverse, as soon as you have applied L dot reverse, it reversed the whole list. Okay. Now the values are in the descending order. So this is the function of reverse. Now let us go to the next function, that is count. So count is very important. Let us add a few elements, more elements inside this list L. So L dot insert say for example, I want to insert 22 at second place. Okay, and then I want to insert L dot append 89, so it will be appended. Now the list is something like this, right? Now I want to count L dot count 89. How many times 89 has appeared in the list? I want to find out how many times the value 89 has appeared in the list. Now see, two number of times the value 89, integer value 89 appeared two number of times, right? And that is the purpose of count function. Similarly, if I am writing L dot count, can you answer this one? What will be the output of what will be the output of this thing? L dot count. Yeah, this one. Just see here. Just observe the code. Tell me what will be the output of this line. This way also you can write, right? Because to the left side of this dot, no, there should be a list. So here to the left side of the dot we have a list, and then we are applying count over it. So what will be the value? Don't type and get the answer and then you see it. You just find out
1.
what will be the value.
1, sir, 1.
Yeah, it will give 1. It will give 1 because it will give
1, sir.
Yeah, correct. It will give 1. Why it will give 1? Because here L3 colon means we are slicing the list from the third elements onward, the third index onward. The third index onward means 0, 1, 2 and 3. So I have left this 22. This 22 is left out. So 3 means 34. From 34 onwards we have only 122. So hence the value of the count is 1. I hope this is understood. Now let us come to the next function, that is called copy. Let us find out what is the purpose of copy. As I have told you earlier, I have L1 is equal to something like 5, 3, 9, right? And then I have L2 is equal to L1. Now if I am going to print the ID of both L1 and L2, if I am going to print L2, it will show you 5, 3, 9 only, because both of them will have same value. But given when they have same value, if I am going to print their IDs, say for example L1 ID of L2, then also they will have two same IDs. But now let us apply copy function to copy a list into another list. Let us find out. Let us have a list called P, and it is 5, 6, 7, and then we have another list called Q, and then we will write to Q dot copy, and then we will pass here P. Means I want to copy P into Q. Okay, now this is the Q is not defined. It is saying Q is not defined, right? Q is not defined. So let us find out how the copy will be used. So Q is not defined. It is saying Q is not defined. So let us write it some other thing. For example, if I am writing here Q is equal to blank list, we have to define Q first, and then Q dot copy P. Again, copy takes no argument. It is saying copy does not takes any argument. So how to apply copy? So copy is the package which has to be imported, and under that package copy function has to be used. Now you see, let us print the ID of both P and Q. P और Q का दोनों का ID print करते हैं. ID of P, ID of Q. Now you see what happened. Both the IDs are different. दोनों का ID different है. Now they have same value, but they have two different memory spaces. So that is shallow copy or deep shallow copy. This is what is called as shallow copying. Right? In the shallow copying, what is happening? We are creating two different memory spaces where the values are being copied. Right? But normally जब हम equal to लगाकर copy करते हैं, जैसे कि यहाँ पे किया गया है, equal to लगाकर जब हम copy करते हैं, what happens? When we are copying with using equal to operator, then nothing is happening. We have same ID. Because we are sharing the memory space. We have same memory space, right? Clear. So let us use clear function over here. So I want to clear this list Q, or I want to clear, say for example, I want to clear L. And now L is what? Let us print the value of L. L is 89, 45, 22, 34, 22, 89. I want to clear it. I want to make this list clear. Sometimes it happens that I want to clear my list. And then I want to print it. Now you can see there is an empty list, right? So clear is to remove all the elements from the list. List से सारे elements को हटाने के लिए clear use करते हैं. Now let us come to the most important thing, that is enumerate. ये बहुत important function है. ये आपके सामने जो मैंने last में discuss किया, that is enumerate. ये enumerate function is very important function. Let us find out how to use enumerate. Enumerate कैसे use किया जाता है, इस चीज को हम लोग देखेंगे. Let us find out how to use enumerate. Enumerate function को use करने के लिए what you have to do is, just see here, I am going to create a names. I have a function called a variable called names, and here I am writing some name and right, and Akash, and then Shika, and then Chandra, right? Okay, so some names are there. Now in these names, what I want to do is, इसमें करना क्या है मुझे, इन names में से I want to iterate these names as well as I want to fix some values, enumerate these names with a certain value. इनको एक value, एक code देना है, एक integer code देना है इन सभी को. I want to give integer code to all these values. इस list के सारे values को एक एक कर कर integer code देना है. So let us find out how can we give the integer code to these values, right? So इनको integer code कैसे दिया जाता है? For now you see how we can do this. Now see what happens. Now you see what happened. See what happened. What it gave. Just firstly consider this code. For code in enumerate names, print code. What is giving? What it is giving? It is giving enumeration of values with names, right? It is giving enumeration of values with names. मतलब इसने क्या किया? What it did it has fixed a number or code with each value in the given sequence. उस given sequence के सभी value के साथ ऑटोमेटिकली एक नाम जो है जोड़ दिया है और जोड़ के टपल प्रिंट कर रहा है. जब आप कोड प्रिंट कर रहे हो तो ये enumerate क्या कर रहा है? Enumerate is what the enumerate is doing. It is producing a list of tuples. What is the purpose of enumerate? The purpose of enumerate, you can write also. The purpose of enumerate is to create a list of tuples where each tuple will be made up of two things: the code associated with the sequence item, the code associated with the sequence item with the item itself. So the first item in the names, in the list of names, the first element was Ishika, right? And since Ishika was the first element, so the code associated with Ishika is 0 because the item code is starting with 0 only. Okay, and then Vivek was the second name in the list, so it has been given a index item as 1. Similarly, Akash has been given 2 and so on. So that is what is called enumeration. इसको enumeration कहते हैं, मतलब एक code fix कर देना सबके साथ, सभी name के साथ. Now see, there is a variation in the thing. इस thing में थोड़ा सा variations भी है. जरा हम देखेंगे इसको. Let us see what is the variation. For code in enumerate names, comma 100. Enumerate names, comma 100. Print code. Now see, the enumeration has started from 100. So it is not that your enumeration will only start with 0. Your enumeration can also start with 100. As you fix, whatever you fix, that will be the starting point of the enumeration. And after that, each element will be enumerated by 1. It will be incremented by 1. Number 1, I think you have guessed right now. what are those two things we have forgot with lists. The number one is pop function. There was a pop function, right? So we have pop function in the list. How to use a pop function in list? Let us find out. We have a list 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5. And suppose if I'm writing L dot pop, what it does, what is the purpose of L dot pop? It takes out the last element 5 from the list. It takes out the rearmost element, the element situated at the rear end, and returns it. It removes the last element as well as prints it. This is the purpose of pop function. Now let us find out what is between pop and remove. Let us remove something from list. Now my list becomes, as you can see, after popping up, my list becomes 5, 6, 8. The last element 5. There were 2 5s at first place, at last place. The last 5 has been removed, right? Now let us find out what is the difference between pop function and remove function. L dot remove. If I am writing L dot remove, and if I am writing 8, say suppose the last element, what it does, it simply removes that element, never going to return that element. Whereas pop, it has shown you what it has removed, right? As soon as we have issued this command L dot pop, it has shown us what it popped out. That means it is removing the element as well as showing it back. Whereas in case of remove, it only removes the element, never shows it back, never returns it back. Now let us see what is the status of L. The L is 5 and 6. The 8 has been removed, but never it has shown us what it has removed, right? So if the element is found, it is simply removed by remove function. But pop returns you the removed item. I think this is okay with you. Now the other thing that I wanted to explain now is del. The use of del statement, or rather del is a keyword in Python, which is used to delete elements from any sequence type object. Del is a statement which is used to remove any element from any sequence data object. So let us add some few more data elements in this L so that we can remove it. Let us add few more things. L dot append 34, for example, and then again L dot append 89. Now see, L is this one, 5, 6, 34, 89. Now I want to remove 34. That means I want element to be removed from index number 2. Now how to remove that element from index number 2? Now remove functions remove the element, removes a particular element if it is present in that list. But never in remove function we are mentioning the index. The elements are not removed by index, they are removed by its value in remove function. But here when we issue this command del, and then we write del, after del you have to give the syntax for this delete command is del and then L, and then in the square bracket you have to pass the index from where you want to remove the element. Say for example 2. Now you see what happens. Simply it deletes the element from that index, never returns it. It like remove, it does not returns any value from that particular index. So now what is the status of this L? The status of L becomes 5, 6, 89. I think this is clear to you.
So here is an example exercise number 2 for you to do. I would like you to stop your video right here at this point and would try to solve these two problems given on your screen. The first problem is a Python program to print a website suffixes, to take out the suffixes from the website names and collect them in a form of a tuple. And the second program wants you to remove repeated elements from a given list without using any built-in function. So stop right now and try to solve these two problems of your own. The solutions to these problems are given in the video ahead. But first, try yourself. So here we are with the solution of two example problems that were given to you to solve. I hope you have taken pain to solve those two problems. Now let us go to the solution. The first question in the question was write a program in Python to just add the suffixes of a website suffix domains of the website into a tuple form, right? And if the websites are like this, it's a list of websites, then the output will be something like a tuple having all the domain names. So let us do the problem. Let's solve it. So what we have to do first is we have to just simply take this list. Let us take the list of website names, and I will just take 3 of them. So for example, I'll just take up to this point. You may input during runtime also, no problem. You may have a list of websites and you can ask from the user to input the names during runtime and create a list. We are taking a static list over here. Now what we will do, what will be the logic to solve this problem? Each website name in the component, there are 3 components in this website name, or it may be more than that, but the components are separated with a separated symbol dot. So we have to take care of this symbol. Based on this symbol, we will split this particular website name using a split function over the dot, so that we get 3 components, the first part, the middle part, and the third part, right? And we will just extract the third part from that list and collect it. So this is the simple logic we have to take care of. So what we have to do, we will create a for loop. So for website names in L, the list of websites, what we have to do is we have to just take care of the names and split it. So we will do what? We'll just have w is equal to w names dot split, and this split has to be done on the delimiter symbol dot. The delimiter symbol will be dot, and after taking this thing w, what we have to do, we have to just take care that we should collect it in a separate list. The last element of this w, the last element in this w list will be collected in a separate list. Say for example, I'm taking the list name as T. Now let us find out what to do. So what we have to do is T dot append. I will append the last element of w. The last element of w will be -1, situated at the index of -1. From the last end, from the rear end, we will get the last element, that is dot com. This com will be the last element of this w, which is a list. Why it is a list? Because we are splitting the string using the split function based on the delimiter symbol dot. So we will get 3 components. This one is the first component, second, and the third one. So we are extracting the third component by using -1 index subscript. Now after coming out of the loop, what we will do, we'll simply print this T, which is a list, changing it to a tuple, because our output should be in the form of tuple. It has been shown that the output should be in the form of a tuple, right? So what I will do, I will simply write tuple T, print tuple T, right? Now let's compile the code and see what happens. So here it is. The output is com, org, and net. Okay, as you can see that the output is exactly what was intended, right? All the domain names, the suffixes of these websites are coming into a separate tuple, right? So in this way we can extract this. Now let us come to the next question. The second question in this example was the second question. Let us find out what was the second question. The second question in the example was write a Python program to remove repeated elements from a given list without using any built-in function. So you don't have to use any built-in function, you have to remove the repeated elements, the elements which are repeated in the list, in the given list, without using any built-in function, right? So let us find out how to remove a repeated elements in the list without using any built-in function. So let me show you how to do this. So first we have to take a list having some repeated elements, say 23, 67, 45, 23, and then 78, and then 23. Like that we have repeated elements like 45, then 89, then 98. Say suppose this is our list. Now here we can see that the repeated elements are 23, 45, right? So these repeated elements should not be there present in the list. It should be only present only once, right? So we have to remove the repeated element from the list so that it gives us a list which is not having any repeated elements. Now this has to be done without using any built-in functions of Python, right? We don't have to. The restriction is in the problem is that we should not use any built-in function. So what will be our logic? Our logic will be just to take one element at a time, and then what we have to do is we have to compare this element with all the existing elements. If that element does not matches with any of the further in the list, if it is not matching with any of the element in the list, then what we have to do, we have to just keep it there, right? And if it is matching with the elements, rest of the elements, we have to remove that element from the list. Okay, that element should be removed from the list. Okay, so how to do that? Let us find out. And then the final list will have only single elements, right? Wherever it occurs, we have to remove that from the list. So let me show you how to do this. L for, I will iterate for I in L. Okay, if I is in the list, if I, so I will take an empty list over here, our resultant list, one empty list will be taken here, right? If I in this R, okay, then do nothing. If I is not in R, then we will we'll just add that element I into R. So R dot append this I into R, right? If it is not there, else we will do nothing, else nothing will be done, so else pass, right? After that, coming out of the loop, we will just simply print R. So R will be our resultant list having no elements repeated. So let us find out whether this code runs or not. So don't repeat. Here it is. You can see that the elements which were repeated are taken only once, right? So we have used here the logic that we are just taking one element at a time, and we are finding it whether that element is there in the second list or not. If it is not there, we will add it. If it is present there, we will not add it. We'll just go to the next element subsequently. Now here you can see that I have used one append function, and the question was that it should not use any built-in function. We have used a built-in function of list called append. So how to remove the use of this append function? Let's find out whether we can do it or not. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just make a list. Say for example, we have total n number of elements over here, we have different elements. So what we will do, we'll just create one list and we will append it with the latter elements, right? So here, instead of doing this, what we'll do, we'll just have R is equal to, in append, in place of append, I will write R is equal to this one. Okay, R plus equal to this one. Okay, so a list will be appended with the previous list so that a new list is created. Let's find out whether we are able to do this or let us find out. Yes, we are, right? So now we are not using any of the built-in function, right? Using only operator symbols, we are able to solve this problem. Hope this is understood. So here is another practice exercise for you to solve, containing 2 questions related to list manipulation and use of functions. I would like you to go through this exercise. You may send your solution to our Kaizala group so that I may evaluate your solution. We will discuss the solution in coming up live sessions. Apart from this, here is one class assignment for this whole class. I would like you to pause the video for a while and make a note to the class assignment. Solve the class assignment and send it to me through our Kaizala group. So the class assignment requires you to go through the data file whose link is given on the screen, where we have a list containing data about patients infected with COVID-19. You have to write a program which goes through this list and then prints the required analysis in the question. This question will require you to extract data from the list using extensive list slicing and also to use various list functions. Hope you would take interest in solving out this and will send your answers or solutions to me. So here we come to the end of this class. We'll catch up with you in the next class. Thank you.